Good morning. This class is on increasing and decreasing function, which is actually basically a part of application of derivative that you know, because you are doing application of derivative. We are finishing application of derivative. Various chapters are there on it. This is the fourth topic we are going to do today. First, definition of increasing and decreasing function. The term increasing, decreasing and constant are used to describe the behavior of a function as you travel from left to right along its graph. This is the example shown here. All we can see that to reach the point 0, the value of the function gradually increasing. So this is increasing over there. From 0 to 2, value is decreasing. From 2 to 4, increasing. And beyond 4, it becomes constant. Okay. So graphically, you are getting a view of increasing or decreasing or a constant function. Now, doesn't it seem that when it is parallel to x-axis, it is going to be constant? Of course, because dy by dx 0 means it is true for a curve whose y is equal to constant. This is a line which is parallel to x-axis. So it will be a constant function over there. 2 to 4 it is increasing, 0 to 2 it is decreasing. So from somewhere like this, from -1, if I say -1 to 4, as a whole you cannot say that function is increasing or decreasing. At some part of it, it is increasing, at some part of it is decreasing. But when you mention a function increasing in an interval, you should specify that particular interval. Over an interval, function together cannot be increasing and decreasing. So it is -1 to 0, you all can see that here the function increasing, 0 to 2 the function graph is decreasing, 2 to 4 it is increasing, and then it is constant over there. Okay. Now I am going to explain with many other diagrams for you, but let us know the meaning of increasing and decreasing more with the help of let us make it let us try to understand by using more graphs here. If you go through this graph here, I've drawn here that in this graph, if you see, suppose the point I'm taking here A and this point I'm taking B. The extreme point is B. Gradually, if you move from A to B, its value is increasing. Here it is constant, but then it is increasing. So what will be your conclusion over the interval A to B? Will it be increasing or not? A part of it is constant also. That's why you will find an explanation where a function is only increasing. Only increasing means at some point it may be equal to 0, but it will never decrease. So a function, our first definition going to be like this: a function is increasing, a function is, wait a minute, function is increasing in an interval if for I have taken 2 points say here. I am taking a point A x1 here, this point be x1 and this point be x2. If you find a perpendicular here, this will be referred as fx1. If you find a perpendicular here, you'll be able to find fx2. This part is called fx2 and this part is fx1. It is the graph of the function y equal to fx. So one can say that for x2 greater than or equal to x1. No, don't say equal to over there. Don't use equal to over there. For x2 greater than x1, fx2 is becoming greater than or equal to fx1. Why did I say this? Because if I have taken x1, the point here, x2 here, then you can say that x2 is greater than x1, but fx1 is going to be fx2 in this horizontal part. So this kind of function is just increasing. Function implies y equal to fx is increasing over there. Okay, in the interval x1 to x2 it is increasing. Maybe equal to sign is occurring, but if you look at this graph, see this graph, you'll never get fx2 equal to fx1. So for this one, for x2 greater than x1, it implies fx2 greater than fx1. This is the case of strictly increasing. Okay, so I'll be using increasing or strictly increasing. Let us see what the authority require. It is increasing or strictly increasing. This today I am saying, you always remember, unless otherwise stated, we will always remember function increasing means it is strictly increasing. So you can have it in your note. Increasing implies it is strictly increasing, not increasing. So equal to part we will never consider. Okay. Now strictly increasing, I can find more example for you. For this function, you can see here in the graph that this one is a strictly increasing because the value of x goes on increasing, the value of y also goes on increasing. This one strictly decreasing function. There is no question of equality here also, as x goes on increasing, the value of fx goes on decreasing. But for this one, it is a constant function where derivative is going to be equal to 0. Okay. Now there is a meaning of increasing and decreasing property with the help of derivative. Okay. If I try to remind you the definition of derivative of a function, that dy by dx, how many different ways we are able to write dy by dx? One can say that it is f of x plus h minus fx by h. Under what condition? When h is tending to 0. Now if I take 2 points, they need not be close to each other, they may be close also, but if I want to write this thing by taking x1 as x and x2 like x plus h, then won't you say that dy by dx is going to be limit x1 tending to x2 fx2 minus fx1 by x2 minus x1? You must say that. Now all of you can see here, when x2 greater than x1 and fx2 greater than x1, I mean I am writing the case 1 here. What is the case here? That is when x2 greater than x1 and fx2 greater than fx1, then this implies that dy by dx greater than 0. Okay, but where have I used this term? When x2 greater than x1, just in the previous example I told you for x2 greater than x1. If fx2 greater than fx1, then it will be strictly increasing. Okay, so this is going to be a fact where a function increasing will imply that x2 greater than x1 implies fx2 greater than fx1 implies dy by dx greater than 0, or f dash x is greater than 0. It is better to state in terms of point. Okay, in the surrounding of a point in its neighborhood, if it happens always for x2 greater than x1, fx2 greater than fx1, it will be increasing over there. Okay, but we are using narrower sense here to solve problems given in your textbooks as well as for other exams. Okay, so increasing part is done where it was increasing. Now if I consider this graph, then this is going to be what? For this graph, all of you can see that here, if you consider this graph, this is the best example in front of you. For x2 greater than x1, all of you can see that for x2 greater than x1, fx2 going to be less than fx1. Do you agree with me? Because fx2 is this part, it is smaller than fx1. So for x2 greater than x1, fx2 is less than fx1. So a function y equal to fx is decreasing if y equal to fx is a decreasing function if what I am going to say, dy by dx less than 0. Why? There are two different ways to find, just like previous one. If I write dy by dx here, all of you can see that it is limit x1 tending to x2 or fx2 greater than or x2 greater than x2 tending to x1, fx2 minus fx1 by x2 minus x1. fx2 greater than fx1 in the graph, it is not possible. fx2 less than fx1, so numerator going to be negative, but x2 is greater than x1, denominator going to be positive. What about the ratio? This is going to be negative. Okay, so for a function be decreasing in an interval, if for that very narrower sense, if I say it is x2 greater than x1, fx2 less than fx1, but its proper statement will be like this, its dy by dx will be less than 0. And all of you will say that this is very easy to decide here, because if I draw tangent here, the tangent has slope equal to this theta is obtuse, no? Theta obtuse means dy by dx will be at this point, say, will be less than 0. Not only the case, at any point if you draw tangent, the tangent will make obtuse angle. So tan theta means dy by dx. This is geometrical meaning of dy by dx. This we know from Rolle's-Lagrange theorem also. Dy by dx geometrically represents slope of tangent. So for theta obtuse, this is going to be, tan theta going to be a negative quantity. So for decreasing function, dy by dx less than 0, or slope of tangent drawn at a point will be less than 0. And for increasing function, dy by dx will be greater than 0. Okay, this I have tried to explain here again with this graph and the statement. If anybody want to write, he or she will write function is increasing function over the interval I if f dash x greater than 0, and it is decreasing over the interval I if f dash x less than 0. This is your textbook definition only. If f dash x equal to 0, the function going to be constant over there. We will say that it is neither increasing nor decreasing. But at the same time, I told you these are the cases for strictly increasing or strictly decreasing. When you are saying only increasing or only decreasing, then equal to term may be included over there. Okay. Now see the graph of the function. Just once more quick revision through the graph of the function. All of you can verify the graph here. In this graph, what do you observe? That if I plot the graph of the function, then at every point slope of tangent will be positive. Maximum it can become vertical or tending to be vertical, but from geometrical meaning it is obvious that the derivative is greater than 0 for increasing function, derivative is less than 0 for decreasing function. Okay, because slope of tangent is going to be negative at every point here. Now let me tell you, you can have your class notes here, that what will be the step to find the increasing and decreasing property of a function over an interval. I have written 3 steps here to determine whether a function is increasing or decreasing. First, you will find the critical numbers or critical points. These critical numbers, if you don't want to say, this will refer as critical points. This term is in use, at least I will be using. So in maximum minima also, this will refer as critical point or critical number. Okay, so our first step will be to decide whether a function increases or decreasing. Our first step will be to find the critical points of the function, maybe more than one there. Second, pick a random x value in each interval. Third step, determine the sign of derivative on that interval. And after doing the third step, if you find dy by dx is greater than 0 in interval, then the function going to be increasing over there. If dy by dx less than 0 over there, it is going to be a decreasing function over there. I'll just show you one example here. First, let me tell you with this. Just in which interval this is going to be increasing or decreasing, that I am going to explain it to you, and later on I will explain with the help of graph also how it happens. It's a cubic polynomial. All of you can see that the function is 2x cube. Just a minute, you write the function first, then I can demonstrate it properly. 2x cube plus 3x square minus 12x. Okay, I can do it here. The function is this, where it is fx is two x cube. Follow the steps written over there. 2x cube plus 3x square minus 12x minus 7. So what is the first step to find critical point? How to get the critical points? Critical numbers, whatever you say, that critical numbers are obtained by finding critical points are obtained by putting dy by dx equal to 0. Put dy by dx equal to 0. This is going to be 6x square plus 6x minus 12 0. So it is x square plus x minus 2 0. All of you know the factorization. It is x plus 2. So what are the critical points going to be here for this function? This point is minus 2, this point is minus 2, and this point is 1. So if we find the sign of this function, then in this interval that the dy by dx is here, that dy by dx finally stands for 6 into x plus 2 x minus 1. In between minus 2 and 1, this function will have negative. This problem I have explained before, I'll do it again. This is positive and this is positive. So in which interval it is going to be increasing? This is going to be increasing when it is increasing when x belongs to minus infinity minus 2 union 1 to infinity, and decreasing under what condition? When x is belonging to minus 2 comma 1. Okay, so this is the way we can decide in which interval the function going to be increasing or in which interval it is going to be decreasing. Okay.